Hello and welcome back to Lucky Only. As you can see, the goal for the episode is right behind me. In this episode, we're definitely going to be taking on the last tower boss. And honestly, I think we might be taking on the rest of the legendaries as well. That being said, right away, we really need to get a few more resources. Last episode, I did a ton of resource grinding, and you can see the fruits of that here. I have a ton of legendary spheres, and I used a lot of these to catching all those bushies and incinerams. However, I do need to do even more resource grinding. You might notice I'm totally out of assault rifle ammo, and my other ammo stacks are getting a little bit low, and even my coin stacks are pretty low. I do have a lot of resources back at base that I can convert into money, but I'm going to need even more. So I think what I'm going to do for a little bit is do some passive ore grinding, make some nails, make a bunch of money that way. And all while doing that, I'm going to be farming for luckies. I still want to try to go for that Jormuntide Ignis. I don't know, for some reason I'm feeling motivated to keep trying that, even though I've spent way too long trying it already. And there are a couple other dragon types, but unfortunately, really all of the good dragon types are at those nature reserves, and they're all kind of difficult to grind. All that being said, even if I get no other major upgrades, I think I can still beat this boss. There were a few things that I was doing wrong in the last fight, and yeah, I took some notes about some things I can actually change to improve my fights, so it might just be one of those things where I need to grind out a lot of resources, get a ton of bullets, and just attempt it a few times, each time getting closer and closer. That being said, if I can get like a really cool dragon type first, that'd be awesome. It'd make it easier, and it'd just be fun. After everything is beaten, probably a lot of what I'm going to be doing is grinding out some really high tier luckies. So yeah, I might as well do some of that anyways. I don't really need to rush the end of the game that much. Okay, I know this has been a really long intro, so let's get to it. Okay, let's see if we have what it takes to take on these guys. Yeah, we'll start with a Nightmare Ball on you. Okay, not a lot of damage. Let's hope that improves. Ooh, okay. Ooh, they are tough. Ooh. Okay, and to swap out a couple guys. Luckily, I have a base right next to this to cheese. But yeah, now that one of these guys is down, I feel like I have a much better chance. It actually counts as a boss kill too, that's cool. Yeah, you can see I just like pulled out a couple random high level guys in a panic. They're not really doing anything, to be honest. Yeah, this is so much easier now that there's one of them. Wow. Fortunately, like most of my guys are spec'd into dragon moves because I was really focusing on the other guys, but yeah, it's okay. I got one guy with a dark move. His little sphere, I'll let him regen a little bit. I need you to egg bomb. Stop doing moves. There we go. Launcher's so good. Only it was possible to hit like more than one shot. Might be able to finish it with egg bomb launcher here. Come on, Toko. Have the damage. One more. Yes! Wow. That was a difficult fight. Okay. So I've not been doing this long. Man, okay, so the last like few days I've been spending so many hours in this place. It feels pretty good to come back here. It's been about, I don't know, 20 minutes of flying back and forth, and I've already found a completely new type of lucky. So this is a little bit sketchy just because of these PIDF soldiers. If I get caught here, I'm going to be swarmed. So I really need to like lure this guy away from them. I think it's safe to lure him over here. So I'm gonna see how far I can pull him over here. Yeah, the second I get in trouble, it's gonna be very, very difficult to catch this guy. I want to be a little bit careful because this can push him into a terrible spot, but honestly, I need the damage right now. I can't really afford to go slowly here. That was good damage. Okay, all my guns are broken, that sucks. Okay, I think I gotta start going for it. He's dead. Oh man, I messed that up. That sucks. That does. Yeah, I need to go repair my guns ASAP. If I had my shotgun, I would have been able to do that much easier. And this guy really got in the way. I needed to be able to kill him quick. So, okay, I'm gonna head back, get some repairs. I mean, I don't actually care about the guy. He would have been XP. That's really the big deal. If that was a Dormantide Ignis, I would be crushed right now. But luckily it wasn't. Either way, I have a lot more hope now. Just finding a lucky at all right now is very hopeful. Oh man, I've been killing a lot of luckies lately. That's not great. Yeah, I'm gonna go get prepared a little bit. I was just kind of doing this in my off time, you know. I've been doing this for so many hours without finding anything that I think I've started to take it a little bit too casually. You know, fighting level 50 luckies is not an easy task, especially in that location. It's a very hostile place. Okay, so I actually made a huge batch of nails, 165k. I think this is actually still my best way of money making, just mostly because it's so AFK, or at least really quick. Usually what I do is when I come back to base at night, just to sleep through the nights and keep everyone working. And then each morning, usually the ore is respawned, so I just throw out my dig toys and mine it all in like 30 seconds, put it all away. And so I've stockpiled a ton of ore, and I'm going to keep doing so. That did not take long to get enough ore to get that much money, so I think this is definitely my best shot for farming money and ammo. So as was kindly pointed out by Astral Teacup, who pointed out that I could catch a Chillet, which would actually really help out my player damage while I'm mounted. I think it turns the damage to Dragon and maybe gives a damage boost as well. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it previously, to be honest, just because, I wanted to rely more on PAL damage. But yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, the more it just makes sense to at least have a Chillet on the team and be able to use that when I can. If I'm going to be firing my gun, I might as well be doing it on the back of a Chillet, assuming that I'm not getting hit with some insane attack that's going to be hard to dodge. So yeah, I figured this was the best route. There is one other spot where Chillets spawn as well. However, I think here there's a few more different pals I would actually like. Because I was also thinking that just for some like big dragon fights, for example, I still need to kill Jetwagon. I'm probably going to want a decent ice type that's not a Sweepa. Sweepa's fine, but he's also like really slow. I don't think he would do well against that legendary for sure. So yeah, I think my best bet here is there's actually a few different really good ice types here. Like a Raindrix, Foxicle, and of course even just Chillet would be really good. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom around here for a little bit. It's also just a nice route. You can just like go in a big circle around this mountain. You see a ton of spawns. It's so fun just having this render distance. I can just see all my pals working away while I'm zooming up here. It's also nice that I'm close enough to them that they're gonna keep working away even while I'm gone. If you didn't know, at least when they're mining ore, unless you're like actually there AFK at the base and looking at them, they mine a lot slower, if at all. And transporters usually won't even pick up the ore. So yeah, this is actually really great because every time I go past, they should be mining ore a little bit more and picking it up as well. So it kind of sets it up into a passive ore mining process while I'm here. Also, I saw this on the last round. I had no idea that you could get quartz here. That's really cool because honestly, it's kind of annoying to get, and there's a lot of rocks here. This is definitely the best spot to mine it. And it's like right next to my base, which is incredible. I've been going on these big treks over to the high level areas to try to find quartz, and there's always like 1 or 2 rocks near each other. So yeah, this is actually a great discovery for me. Oh, this is awesome. It's been a while since I found like a really huge rare egg. Wow, the first lucky I find. I have not been doing this run for too long. Probably, I don't know, like a half an hour or so. Look at that. What a beautiful Chillet. Okay, okay. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'll probably just do it by hand. I don't think I have to worry too much about him killing me. So let's just get him nice and low with the shotgun. Okay, not too low though. Should be good with shot grenade here. Yep. And we throw the legendary. Nice, 72%. Should be good. Well, that was easy. I was expecting to be here for quite a bit longer. And this is really exciting too, because that means I can go back and keep going for that Dormantide Ignis, which would be amazing. But ultimately, the thing that really matters is his partner ability. So I'm definitely going to be leveling that up. I got to catch a lot of Chillets. Yeah, and by the way, this is the ability. Applies dragon damage to the player's attacks while mounted. So this is pretty useful against this boss that we're going up against. Yeah, and his stats probably don't matter too much, to be honest. He does have Cheery, though, which is 10% decrease to incoming dark damage. That's actually really great. I know it's just like a common ability here, so it's not anything insane, but 10% damage decrease, and this is like the type of damage he really needs to resist, so hey, I'll take it. I love this Catris. It makes crafting stuff so fast. But yeah, see how slow this is? And then, boom, it's done. Thanks, Catris. Oh yes. Beautiful little Chillet. So it'll be a lot of fun with guns. I've never actually used a Chillet outside of the like very, very early game. So yeah, I'm interested to see. It's funny. So normally a shotgun would like kill this tree in 1 hit, but the dragon damage actually makes it do less, which is funny. Wow, another Chillet. I think I've caught like 15 so far. So yeah, that's really fast. I'll try not to kill this guy. Let's switch straight to legendary. That should be good enough. That's cool. We actually get our pick of Chillets. Maybe this one's even better. It is nimble. That is kind of useful. I don't know if it beats out the 10% dark damage reduction or not. Definitely might. What is going on? I'm finding so many. Ooh, a foxicle. That's so cool. Okay. I am hyped. This guy might be a little bit tough. He's high level, 45. Try not to knock this guy off the mountain, because that would probably kill him. That is the one risk about using Tokotokos like this. I don't know, it's just so nice. Yeah, I won't throw the shock grenade just in case it does too much damage. And I'd like to have a little HP to work with. That's fine. I got a lot of these legendary balls. No need to get hasty. Just not worth it. Oh, nice. There we go. Hey. Wow, that one's really good. Lucky, aggressive, capacitor. I hadn't seen this before, but yeah, well in team increases attack power of ice pals, so I don't know, I could level this guy up and just keep using my sweepa, who knows. Either way, this is super cool. I really like this foxicle, and I've never actually used one on our playthrough. Better, or the decrease to dark damage. Movement speed might be more useful. I'll have to play around with them and see which one actually feels faster, because I don't know if 10% is going to be enough to really notice. Obviously, if I can dodge attacks, that's way better than just tanking damage. I just don't know if I will be able to dodge that many attacks while on the back of this thing, even with Nimble. And also a progress report here. We are up to 30 in inventory, 29 if you take away that other lucky. So yeah, we're making progress. It honestly won't take too long to get all the way up to 116. Okay, this should be 10 foxicles. Not sure I'm going to catch any more, but hey, that's a nice XP boost. I'm almost level 45 already. Yeah, getting up to 45 will be nice, because that'll definitely give me a decent little DPS boost in the next fight. Okay, looks like I need to go start powering up my Chillet, because I'm out of space. I am almost to the count that I need. I think I'm only like 5 away, so yeah, it's fine to start powering him up now. I'm probably not going to find another lucky Chillet at this point. I was mostly just holding off in case I found an even better one. But yeah, honestly, I've decided that I want to go with this Nimble one. I think that that's definitely going to be the best bet. Speed over tankiness is going to make a lot of sense, I think. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so I'm actually 9 off, not 5. That's the last one. Let's go power up this Chillet and test them out. There we go, the exact number. And I think my stash is like completely full. There we go, we got them all the way leveled up. So yeah, I think what I'm going to go do is find a dark type. And then I'll go shoot it with my pistol at close range. And then I'll jump on the Chillet and do the same thing. And we can compare the damage. So I think we'll try to do headshots. Maybe body shots. Okay, so 52, 59, 60, 63, 62. Okay, so it looks like 60 is like the average probably. Oh, wow. Yeah, more than doubled. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, Catrice. See ya. Man, that's awesome. That's going to be such a big damage increase. Wow. So I do still have a couple more things I want to do before I go fight the boss. I mean, honestly, with the Chillet strat, I know it is like a mainstream strategy. With my assault rifle and enough ammo, I could probably just take him using that. You know, it might take a few attempts. I'd have to be pretty good at dodging stuff. It's obviously kind of risky being on the back of a Chillet while the boss is throwing like huge attacks at you. Regardless though, I definitely don't want to fully rely on the Chillet. I still want to kind of be able to have a good set of pals that I cycle in and out so they can use big abilities. And so for that, I'm actually going to do a little bit more lucky farming. For whatever reason, I just really want to keep doing this run. So I have started slowing down a little bit just because I'm so paranoid that that same thing's going to happen again. It is kind of nice to be back here. It's honestly just kind of second nature at this point, so, you know, I can, like, watch stuff on the side, you know, and I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to react in time. So, yeah, there's something kind of common about this grind. Okay. We get another chance. Let's see, just looking out for the soldiers. There are some over there. Okay, let's pull this guy over here. Bring him way over here. And the shotgun is where it's at. Ooh, okay, should have left that. Taking this one nice and slow. Poison. Man, he's dodging. Okay, would you stop? There we go. I don't even think I got the poison on him. I gotta watch his health though. Yeah, this is a good enough chance though. We got plenty of balls. Oh my god, he's just gonna keep dodging, huh? Okay. Yeah, he's just running side to side for fun at this point. Come on now. Hey, there we go. That is a brand new lucky, and we got level 45. That is awesome. We'll definitely catch his friends as well. Who knows, maybe we'll get level 46 before this whole thing's over. He's a pacifist, so he's probably not going to be super useful in combat, unfortunately. So unfortunately, at this point in the video, my mic basically stopped working. It looks like my mic settings were messed up in my recording software, so yeah, it's going to be post-commentary from here on out. It's safe to say I was pretty much freaking out when I found this guy, though. This was not long after the previous clip. I don't know what it is about this place, but man, I fall through the world here all the time, especially when fighting these huge luckies. Luckily, I'm starting to get pretty good at getting out of these spots. I was definitely freaking out a little bit at this point, though. This was not really the time that I needed this. You know, this Dormantide Ignis is basically what I've been trying to get for the past, I don't know, 4 days straight of just constant grinding. It's also safe to say that at this point, I'm not really taking any chances. One shot grenade's really all I'm going to get here, and I don't think I'm going to be doing any poisoning either. And like usual, I'm just going to get it on the very first try. I don't even know why I shock and poison half the time when I just like get it on like a 13% starting chance. Also, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but this is actually an artisan. Yeah, the Lucky plus Artisan boost is plus 65% to work speed. And this Jormuntide Ignis actually has level 4 kindling. That means if I upgraded him all the way to 4 stars, he would actually get up to level 5 kindling, which is just insane. I mean, I don't need that at this point, really, but I'm going to be making Palmetal ingots so fast now. Also, do please take a second to notice how ridiculously large this guy is. He's honestly just going to be a burden to the base because he is so massive. And yeah, let's see how fast he can actually craft these Palmetal ingots. I gotta say, this is, I don't know, 4 times faster than what we had before. It's going to mean that I can basically just farm ore, and I don't even have to worry about really crafting Palmetal ingots ahead of time. At this point, I can really just craft ingots whenever I need them of whatever type I need. So I'd actually been thinking a lot about this Goriath that we got, and I think that if we powered up his ability, he might actually be really good. So I went ahead and I collected a bunch of these guys, and I'm leveling up to level 2 right now. Before I level him up any further though, I do want to go and test out the damage with his ability. That way, once we get him up to level 3, we can test him out again and make sure it's actually worth going all the way to 4 stars, because that's going to take 64 more Goriaths. And if you don't know what his ability actually does, it's basically an active ability that you hit that powers him up and gives him a ton of strength for a short period of time. So it's almost like a Toko Toko where you can pull him out, use the ability, then put him away until it's ready again. Okay, and here we go for test number 1. This is really just the baseline. Now that he's level 2 before we level him up and try him again at level 3. Yeah, and you can see we do about 200 damage on that 3rd hit. Right now he just has this single ability equipped. That way we can really get a good gauge for exactly how much just this one ability does. So it finally happened. The whole reason we came here and we even found the Goriath in the first place was because we were trying to get that easy win with the B-Guard. If you remember, we had killed that B-Guard previously. So I was really hoping to get my revenge here and actually get this guy. Ultimately, the B-Guard would not be super useful for us, but, you know, it's still nice. It's XP. And yeah, it actually happened. I accidentally threw a ball at a normal one first. I just totally missed the lucky version. I'm always like paranoid that I'm going to accidentally throw a ball and accidentally catch something when I'm trying to catch a lucky, and so I usually try to kill the other things around the lucky first. Anyways, I did catch the normal slightly before, like a couple seconds before the lucky. So I guess run ruined. But hey, maybe we can just add a new rule where I can catch any pal as long as I catch the lucky within 2 seconds. 10 B-Guards. And at this point, I am pretty sure that I'm going to be able to get to the next level before the big boss fight, because the XP is rolling in. Also, here's a quick side note while I'm doing a lot of clicking, but these Goriaths were actually super easy to catch. I was able to run around on top of my Hezel Sphere and just do 1 or 2 hits on each. I would even make my Hezel Sphere hungry, so that way it wouldn't do as much damage. And I was catching these things at a super fast rate. So yeah, even if this isn't amazing, I'm probably going to upgrade them all the way anyways. Yeah, so it does look like he does quite a bit more damage. That was almost like, let's say like a 15% damage increase. He went from around 200 average to about 240. We can see on this second hit, it's around the same. This time it's like 330. Overall, it's certainly nice, but it's not really earth-shattering. And of course, after leaving last time, I gotta let him get that kill. So I'd honestly kind of gotten my hopes up that this might have been something other than a Dazzy. For whatever reason, I just really don't like the Dazzies. I don't think that they're really that great. I've never had good luck with them actually attacking. It seems like half the time they just sit around doing nothing. And I'd already found a lucky version on my other playthrough, so yeah. I'm still excited about the XP, but that's really all this is for me. So I was totally not paying attention to the health of this bird. Luckily, this was the last stop. I was just coming here for some skill fruits. So I was kind of hopeful that maybe this Dazzy was electrical generation 2, but no, just pretty useless. Our Sparkit is basically better in every way, and I really doubt I'm ever going to use this guy. So catching all these Goriats was actually super fast. I think these 64 only took me about 15 minutes. And yeah, I got a couple extras, but there he is, level 4. Also, I just got 28 legendary spheres there. They are so easy to make for me now. I've been killing bosses for XP for a little while now, but man, this is such a world of difference. This Chillet is just absolutely destroying Liling Noct. I'm starting to get a lot more confident about this next boss fight right about now. So I did go ahead and catch up to 20 Jormuntide Ignises. I think that's probably as high as I'm ever going to go on this guy. These things take a long time to catch and it uses a lot of resources. But I figured, hey, since 20 gets you to level 2, it kind of seems worth it on just about anyone to get at least those 2 levels. So I had literally just stepped in the desert. I had caught, I think, 1 Dazzy. Figured I might as well get the 10 for the XP, and of course I'm going to run into a Toko Toko. Doesn't matter which desert I'm stepping into, I'm definitely going to find one. But yeah, I figure this guy should be pretty easy to catch, although it does suck that he's level 50. So I was so confident that if I just threw the balls fast enough, the poison wouldn't have time to tick down. But yeah, I flew a little too close to the sun and ended up killing this guy. Honestly, it probably doesn't matter at all, considering I already have about like 18 other lucky Toko Tokos in the bank. 10 Dazzies, and we're actually really close to 46 now, so yeah, I'm definitely going for that before the boss fight. So I really needed to level up some of my guys anyways, and I was already planning on doing some dungeons, so this amount of XP I had left was actually perfect, because I needed to level up, and so did my pals. And there you have it, level 46. That's now 2 extra levels since we last fought the tower boss. I think that's going to help out quite a bit. Unfortunately, at this point, a lot of my pals are still kind of low level, so we'll have to see about leveling them up. I'm definitely considering at this point just going into the boss fight anyways, even with lower level pals. So welcome to minute 15 of this Frostallion boss fight. Man, this really took forever to get to this point on this health pool, and it's been really challenging, honestly. This thing, even if it gives a ton of XP, probably is not going to be worth it for the time, but at this point I'm committed. And yeah, I threw my Relaxosaurus right into that one. Let's not talk about it. Jormuntide Ignis, though, is really shining this fight. He's really basically the only way I'm getting some damage on this guy. My only other real decent source of damage has just been riding around on Chillet and shooting. But at this point in the fight, I'm actually pretty much out of damage dealers, and my Jormuntide Ignis is super low health. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous that I'm not going to be able to finish the fight, even though Frostallion's on like 3% HP. At this point, I'm just resorting to pulling back Jormuntide Ignis every single time Frostallion even looks at him. Because I'm pretty sure if Frostallion even looked in his direction for more than like 3 seconds, he would die. So, you know, using my gun probably would have been smart here, but I was just so desperate to get that poison because it was like my only reliable damage this whole fight. That being said, I am not getting it. And yeah, I finally get the right idea and pull out the handgun. And yeah, I let Dormantide Ignis die. So at this point, it's really just me chill it in this handgun. It's the only way we're going to win this. And it's surprisingly difficult, even with this little of HP. I'm unloading mag after mag, and it is not enough. Oh, but finally, there we go. Yeah, this fight was not worth it for that amount of XP. It's safe to say I probably won't be doing this fight ever again. Okay, so we're finally here. This is going to be attempt number 1. I'm kind of treating this like a practice run because I'm kind of imagining that I'm going to make a ton of mistakes. I'm pretty rusty. I haven't done this fight in a little while at this point. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty well prepared. I got a ton of ammo. All my stuff's repaired. I decided not to splurge for food that's going to boost my attack and defense quite yet. Yeah, it definitely might be necessary in the future, but I figured, hey, let's give it a test run. I'm feeling pretty powerful. I have all these tools at my disposal now. So let's see where I'm actually at. The party's also looking good. I got dragon moves on just about everyone, plus some just decently strong moves. You can see Goriat has Pal Blast here. I'm not actually sure if he's going to be able to get it off before I use his ability. Because a lot of time I've noticed with like Toko Toko, I'll throw him out and I'll try to like grab him. But he'll just like shoot off a big ability and like take a bunch of damage. So we'll see how this goes. So at this point I'm really just kind of trying out everyone. I want to try to figure out, okay, what does my DPS look like? Who's doing the most damage? I really am kind of treating it like a trial run. And Goriat's doing okay. I'm definitely not, like, super impressed by his damage. And, of course, the second I pull out Chillet in the assault rifle, yeah, it's pretty clear that that's going to be about the best damage I got. I do need to learn how to dodge, though, obviously. The rocket launcher is also pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if you were watching the health bar, but it was going down pretty fast when I was launching that. At this point, I was pretty sure I could not make it, considering the time and how much health was left. But I didn't want to pull out my assault rifle and just kind of test to see how much damage it could really do. Of course, then I let Chillet die, so that dream kind of dies. And yeah, at this point, there isn't much reason to keep going. So I just take off my armor so it doesn't get damaged, and respawn. We'll try again. So for attempt number 2, there are a couple changes. One, I have this awesome new meal that gives plus 20% attack, and I'm going to give it to me and all the pals. I'm also going to make sure I have both my attack pendants on. That way I'm doing a little bit extra damage. So on this run, I'm actually mostly keeping up with damage. I'm even using my assault rifle even when I have other pals out besides Chillet. Just because, you know, I want to get these pals out to do all their DPS, and might as well be shooting my assault rifle at all times. Yeah, this is when it kind of goes downhill, though. I definitely got a little overconfident and was not paying attention to my dodges. Okay, so here goes tip number 3. At this point, it's pretty clear that I have the damage. I did go ahead and switch out Goriat for Toko Toko, though. I really wasn't that impressed with Goriat's damage. He is really cool, and I think I'll find more uses for him later. But for now, I think Toko Toko is just hard to not bring. He's so good. I mean, look at this damage. Like, one of Goriat's best moves would do that, like on the 3rd hit. And Toko Toko just does that much damage every single hit. I do get a little bit overconfident, though. I took way too many hits on this one and died pretty quick. Okay, here goes attempt number 4. No huge changes here. I'll make sure to feed everyone their special stat boosting meals, and let's run it back. By this point, I pretty much have it down though. You know, I got my order all figured out. Always start off with Relaxosaurus, so that way we can get his missile launcher off cooldown. And then I just really gotta cycle through all of my other big hitters. I'm still constantly shocked at how relevant Toko Toko is. Honestly, the first time I got a lucky Toko Toko, it just kind of felt like a meme. Like, I did not expect him to actually be good. But of course, the true star of the show is Chillet. I mean, this damage is just insane. He's over doubling every single shot. And my shots already do a lot of damage thanks to all my attack boosts. And the fact that this is an epic assault rifle. I also want to mention that I do not feel bad at all for using rounds anymore. I have farmed up so many ingots that I basically have unlimited money and unlimited rounds. At least for doing these boss fights. I'm sure if I was just using my assault rifle everywhere, I'd run out pretty fast. But yeah, for basically each of these attempts, I've just been going off. I don't really care anymore. And I think the 10% movement speed from Nimble is actually really good. It definitely feels noticeably faster to me. And even though I bet Chillet could dodge all of these attacks anyways, it just makes it easier. It gives you a little bit more leeway, which I definitely need. I mean, look at this. He can even just outrun these massive beams. Normally I'm dodging and like freaking out and just barely making it. And yeah, Chillet's just running. He's totally fine. At this point, I don't even think I realize how much damage I've done. I have not been in this fight very long, and I've already gotten the boss to half health. We're definitely not going to run into time issues. I just have to not die at this point. So also big thanks to Astral Teacup for making that comment. This was definitely the right call. And it's just a ton of fun, too. At this point, though, I want to conserve all the health I can on Chillet, and we got plenty of time, so I'm going to cycle through all of my Pal's abilities again and give them a little bit of a chance to shine. So I actually did spend a bit of time farming abilities, and I could not find any good dragon moves. All I really had was the basics to teach Jormuntide Ignis, so yeah, at this point, if he had like Dragon Meteor, man, he would be doing so much damage. He's definitely got pretty much the best stats out of all my guys, and so it'd be really cool to see what he could do. The other pals did fine, but honestly, let's get back to Chillet and just kill this thing. I also need to mention that I always really struggle to dodge that massive Blizzard Spike move, and Chillet does not care at all. He is so fast that I can just run to the side. I'm definitely surprised that I can somehow dodge more things when I'm on Chillet than when I'm on foot. I'm pretty sure at this point I was just like shouting, please do a Dragon Meteor. And then finally it happened. His Dragon Meteor does do a ton of damage. I can only imagine if that was Jormuntide Ignis. I definitely feel like I started panicking around here a little bit. When my shield went down, I was just like, oh no, am I really gonna die to this guy when he has like 2% health? And then Jormuntide Ignis kept getting like stuck on things, and I was just like, please kill it. And it's done. Oh man, this has been a long time coming, and it's pretty crazy to be here. When I first set out on this series, I was not sure if we were actually going to make it to this boss with just lucky pals. I was not sure if I was going to be able to do those grinds to actually get the pals that I needed, but yeah, honestly, it ended up being a ton of fun. So while this was the hardest challenge that I had to face in the game, I guess now we get to do a little bit of a victory lap while we try to clear up the last couple bosses. So I did not realize that this boss was just hanging around here this whole time. I'm pretty sure I was catching celeries like right next to him, but I never actually revealed on the map. Yeah, I'll just one-tap him. Chill, it makes it pretty easy. However, at this point, there's only one boss left to kill, and that is Jetragon. He's definitely not going to be a pushover. I was a little bit worried about killing this guy earlier, and that's what I was kind of talking about at the beginning of the video, trying to find an ice guy who's really just for this boss. Considering I just beat the last tower boss, though, I definitely wasn't too worried. I didn't really bring any specific pals in here to fight him or counter him. I don't think any of my guys had any ice moves at all. So yeah, I was mostly just going with the same team I beat the tower boss with and trying to brute force it. At least you can ragdoll this guy around with the missile launchers. I was really unsure about using Chillet here, actually, because, yeah, I was a little bit worried about dodging this guy's attacks on the back of Chillet. It was a little bit easier in the big boss fight, I thought, than it was here. And the other thing to note is that while I do get a little bit of extra damage from his ability, it's not super effective, and so I don't actually get, nearly as much as I was in the big boss fight. Also, as you may have noticed, I pulled him back when he was on fire, and he just died in my party, so yeah, that was the one and only time I'm going to use Chillet in this fight. But honestly, my shots are doing almost the same amount of damage on foot. Despite Cognito being basically the worst matchup possible, I did decide to bring him and use him. I thought it would be kind of fun, and honestly, Cognito's needed a time to shine for a little while now. And overall, I feel like he's actually going to do pretty good this fight. All of his damage is super ineffective, but hey, at least he can kind of dodge attacks. You can see how much damage he took from that one attack, though. Even though he is surprisingly tanky, yeah, he's not that tanky. Sphere is also the worst possible type matchup, and of course is going to get absolutely annihilated by his special dragon attack. So yeah, I'm already down a couple guys, and it's not actually looking amazing. I'm also taking so much damage from this guy. There's been a few times now where I'm just desperately running for my life. I mean, here I'm on fire and almost dead. You can see I'm panicking a little bit and just hoping that he stays on the Relaxosaurus. Luckily for me, Relaxosaurus is a tank. He is taking so many hits and it's barely even touching him. I was honestly so close to death here. This fight was pretty terrifying, not gonna lie. I think it was like harder survival-wise than the big tower boss fight, even though the DPS requirement was not nearly as high. Yeah, that was the moment that I was pretty sure I was about to die. That was not good. But somehow, I am staying alive. At this point, I'm just using these missile launchers to give me like a moment of respite and try to get my shields back. You can see I'm not even really trying to do that much damage. I'm really just trying to keep him CC'd for as long as I possibly can while my shield regenerates. I was really trying to give Cognito that last hit, but that's okay. I'm just glad that we finally got this done. But that is the last boss kill in the series, and actually the last thing I needed to do. And unfortunately, Cognito is totally invisible, so let's move to a better location. Well, this is it. Thanks so much for watching. You know, although I'm gonna keep making some videos, and I'll talk about that after this, this is really the series finale. This is what it's all been leading up to, and I think this is really the end of the series proper. At this point, it's really going to be more, you know, extras, stretch goals, you know, longer grinds with, you know, a little bit longer between videos. That being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed the series. I really appreciated how many positive comments I got, and I was just really surprised by how many people actually tuned in. I had a ton of fun making the series, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it. I did want to talk a little bit about my plans after this, you know, what I want to do with the channel and the series. So if you're interested, stick around, and if not, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So I have a few different goals for this series. I definitely want to keep playing on this save file, and I want to keep making some videos on this series. I'm really interested in farming luckies, and you know, I'm going to keep doing that, you know, whether I'm making videos or not, and hey, I might as well be doing it here, and I might as well be making videos. But one of my first big goals is to build an actual nice base. You know, my base has actually been really functional and great, but it's super ugly. So I'd love to actually pick out a good spot, build a nice, you know, functional but also good-looking base. I think it could be a lot of fun, especially with, you know, all of the oversized lucky pals. I think that, you know, it could be a lot of fun. I'll have to make everything a little bit bigger, especially if I want to fit my Jormuntide Ignis. And honestly, the thing that I'm probably most excited for is just doing routes and trying to catch some, you know, probably specific but really cool luckies. There's so many, you know, really cool pals that I'd love to play around with. And yeah, honestly, I'd love to go farm them as luckies. I think there's a lot of cool spots on the map that I never really explored on this series, and I think part of that is just because I had really specific pals that I needed for specific goals. So now I think it's going to be really freeing just to be able to go and kind of go after any pal that I want. You know, I don't really have to worry as much about, you know, the progression of the series. I can just kind of pick out, you know, a cool pal that I want to play around with and, you know, do the route. Or even just pick out a really cool route and, you know, grab whatever pals I can from that. One kind of crazy goal that I have in the back of my mind is to catch every single pal's lucky version. Obviously, there's certain pals that you can't get luckies of, you know, that only spawn as bosses. But the idea would be to grab a lucky of any pal that I actually could get, and I think it would be pretty fun. I'm just imagining having like a nearly full pal deck on a lucky only playthrough, and I think it'd be really cool. Obviously, it would take a really long time, and I definitely wouldn't want to commit to actually finishing it in some narrow time window, or really even finishing it at all. It'd really be kind of you know, stretch goal, something that I might be able to get to one day and something that I'm working towards, but not really something that, you know, I think that I'm actually going to get. Besides those big goals, though, I think it'd also just be fun to, you know, find some luckies of lesser used pals, maybe some that aren't that powerful, and really do everything I can to power them up, you know, using the pal condenser, you know, feeding them a bunch of souls, finding them cool moves, and just kind of seeing what I could do with them. But I'm also just really interested in what you guys think. Obviously, everyone that's been tuning along in this series, you know, I'm curious to know what were your favorite parts of the series, and what do you guys want to see more of? You know, was there stuff that I guess I didn't really have time to do that you think would be interesting? I definitely want to, you know, continue the series, only catching lucky pals. So yeah, if you guys have some ideas around that, definitely let me know. With all that said, you know, I hope you guys will stick around. I'm definitely excited to, you know, keep making videos on this series. That being said, I do want to, you know, kind of warn you guys that I'm not going to be uploading that often. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of these grinds. I'm going to be doing it pretty casually. So there's probably going to be, you know, pretty big breaks between videos, maybe even like a week or more between some of them. But if you stuck around this far into the video, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one, whenever that happens to be. Get 'em, Cognito.